everyone, and welcome. My name is Pamela Scott, and I'm a Kiva Fellow. I was invited here to St. Edward's to talk to the students and faculty a little about our organization and what we do, and also how you can get involved. And I wanted to quickly tell you what I'm going to run through today, which will be some comparisons between Kiva and also other charitable organizations, and then a little bit about how Kiva specifically differs and some of the benefits, and then also I'll share with you a quick success story about how some of the loans were used. So with that said, I'll move on to letting you guys know why you need to join in with Kiva, which would be to say that if you've ever heard the saying, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a night. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Well, what if the man doesn't have a fishing pole? That's where you come in. With Kiva, you can actually be the person that gives a fishing pole to someone. You can help to change someone's life. So the first thing that I want to look at here would be the comparisons. And with Kiva, you can see the first point up here would be that the biggest difference between charitable organizations and Kiva is that charitable organizations are generally meant to be one lump sum, here you go, $50, $100, and that's the end of it. With Kiva, we really strive as our goal to bring people up out of poverty, so the amount that we lend out generally is much larger. It's intended to allow people to expand their businesses, for example, or give educational loans out for them to send their children to school. So the loans have to be larger than something usually that a charity would give, no strings attached. And the second point would, the third point, would be that often the charity situation gives people a bit of a blow to their pride. It makes them feel difficult in that situation to be where they have to take money from someone. Whereas with Kiva, they really get the pride of saying, I took out a loan, but I am actually going to pay this back. So that's a nice benefit.
What charity do you compare to?
If you want to ask me at the end, I'll go ahead and talk to you about that.
Thank you.
Okay, so next would be the benefits. And with the benefits, one of the greatest ones with Kiva is that you can actually look on our website, kiva.org, and see some of the stories that people post up for the reasons on why they need the loan. They will give you a rundown of what the money is going to be used for, and you can also view the success stories once the loan's been dispersed and they've used it. And you can also see some of the great statistics that we have as well. One that I'll share with you is that Bloomberg actually posted up from 2011 on their website. Kiva gave out $555 million in loans, and we more than doubled that to $1.17 billion in 2012. And we are currently, according to the New York Times, giving out $1.15 million per week now, which is really great. So another great benefit is that you can diversify your portfolio, meaning that say you want to lend out $100 instead of just $25. You can actually lend that to 4 different people, where in the rare case that somebody isn't able to pay back, which we have a 99% repayment rate, but in that case, maybe one person can't pay back the 25, but the others can. Another great alternative benefit of Kiva is that we actually reach the lowest level of poverty. A lot of microlending institutions even can't get that low because they do still have to worry about some of the payback and the interest rates. With Kiva, because you're donating the money and it's going to be interest-free for these borrowers, it's much better, and it allows the microlending institution to push the money further down in the system. And the last thing on here is that we really try to support microlenders who are going to provide, for instance, classes on accounting to their borrowers, and also things like teach them things like how to deal with overhead. And that really helps them to have success in the long term, which is what our goal would be. And one of the last things I want to get to here is the story of Kumari and her sister Farragut. One of the great things about this is they actually started out working in a sewing industry, but the business they were working for went under. So afterwards, they went to their family, they went to their friends, and they started up a business of their own, sewing. But they realized that the sewing machines were old that they were using and that they could probably make a better profit if they could source their own material. So what they did was take out a loan through the microlending institution in their country that was funded through Kiva, and they bought new sewing machines and they bought setups to source their own materials. And what that did was give them a much better profit rate. They actually doubled what they were putting out and quadrupled their profit. So they were actually able to hire on 3 more people. And that means that the $25 that somebody lended out helped to give 5 people employment, which I think is really great. So now that I've told you guys about the comparisons that we have between the 2 companies and also some of the benefits specifically to Kiva and shared with you guys the success story, I really hope that you're feeling very empowered and very generous. Around the outside of the room, there's some computers set up for you to go and fill out donation forms, and when you fill those out, if you fill out the paperwork that's with it, you can hand it to my assistant Jenny at the door, who will stamp your parking pass for you as a show of gratitude from us. And with that said, I would like to thank you all very much for coming. And are there any questions?